Welcome to Author Timeline Thursday with a wonderful quote from F. Scott Fitzgerald, who said, "Deadlines are not meant to be missed, but to be met with courage, with determination, and a wee bit of madness." It's that last part I think that I like the best, because when we set a really audacious goal for ourselves, I think it's really easy to realize that that's absolutely nuts. maybe I ought to rethink that. No, don't rethink it at all. Go for it, because I think you're going to learn what I learned. Amazing things are really possible, and I'm capable of so much more than I think I am on any given moment, on any given day. Orders of magnitude more than I think I am. So hello, welcome. My name is Christopher Diarmani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to tell the story of their trauma to triumph journey using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success so they can write, finish, and publish their book and make the impact they know they were born to make in this world. And I want to talk about these deadlines because there really is a bit of madness that's required in it. A deadline is really exhilarating because of the uncertainty that it unfolds, that it sparks. When you set a deadline that is fairly close, and it forces you to ask yourself some simple but serious questions. I don't know that I can do this, is probably the first thought that enters your mind. And then you wonder, well, can I do it? Is it possible for me to do it? And as you build a structure, you build a pathway, a plan, at some point this beautiful switch flips in your head and you realize, oh my goodness, yes, I can do this. And that's a really beautiful moment. And it's all, that whole process is set in motion by setting that deadline. Before you've done anything else, just setting that deadline. I will write this book, this first draft of this book by X date. It may feel absolutely insane, but know this. You can do this. You can absolutely do this. Because this deadline, it forces you through this process, as I said, but it also forces you out of your comfort zone. And that is probably, well, I have 10,000, this is the most important thing, so just bear with me as I tell the next. This is the most important thing about a deadline. Is it kicks you out of your comfort zone. The comfort zone is where your dreams go to die. Nothing happens there. The beer is cold, the food's hot, the favorite TV or movie is always playing. There's no pressure to accomplish anything because everything is delivered to you on a silver platter. Now that might feel really nice for, I don't know, a couple days, maybe a week tops, before you start realizing that this is really boring. There's got to be something better. And that's when you want to step out of your comfort zone and do something that's challenging, because that's where fulfillment lies. Fulfillment doesn't come from having things handed to you. It comes from doing the hard things. As Kennedy said way back when, we don't do these things because they're easy. We do them because they are hard. It's a beautiful line because it's so true. Fulfillment is found in doing those difficult things. It's also where, stepping out of our comfort zone, that's where our true abilities actually shine. Because it's out here in those wild, crazy spaces that touch of madness descends, that Fitzgerald talks about. And another beautiful thing goes on. Time ceases to have any meaning. It literally ceases to exist. Because you're so focused in the moment, you're not aware of anything else but doing this one thing. And this world of possibility opens up for you, and it's so beautiful. Now, understand this. To write a book, it requires a lot of things. A series of deadlines, most importantly. One of my many most importantlies. To write a book, you have to set and keep a whole bunch of different deadlines. You have a deadline for your first draft, for your final draft, for your publication date, and then there's all the littler ones in between. You have a deadline to write this chapter. You have a deadline in this writing session. A writing session is simply an amount of time set aside along with the deadline to do a certain amount of writing and a certain number of words. And so there's all these little tiny deadlines that go into it. And every single one of them, if you miss one of them, you fail. You can't miss a single one of them, otherwise you fail. And yet if you keep every single one of them, your success is guaranteed. And if you've watched me here before, you know that I absolutely love doing anything that makes my success guaranteed. I don't care how hard it is. If it guarantees my success, then I am willing to do it. And that's the encouragement I want to give to you as well. You can write this book, even if you don't think you can today. I know you can. So if you can't believe in yourself, believe that I believe in you. Because I do. I believe in you because I finally got to the point where I believed in myself. And once I believed in myself, all kinds of amazing things were possible. They're actually possible before I believed in myself, but there came this point where, oh my goodness, that switch flipped in my head, and then I don't question that anymore. I know I'm capable. The only question remains is, will I? Will I? And that's the same question that's before you as well. Will you? It's not that you can't. You can. You absolutely can. Will you is the question that you face today. Because it takes work. Anything worthwhile in life takes work. Michael Jordan didn't become the best basketball player in the world by sitting on the couch watching TV and eating popcorn. He did it by working harder and longer and better than anyone else on the planet. That's why we love him. That's why we respect him so much, because he did the hard things and he was never satisfied. No matter how high the mountaintop he climbed, he was never satisfied. He always wanted more. So when he won, I don't know, the first championship, he definitely knew that wasn't enough. And he went on to win a whole bunch more. And, you know, winning 3 in a row is an amazing accomplishment for any team. And it was all made possible because of one man. So use that example and use that to fire up your own life. And so when you set that deadline, if it doesn't make your heart flutter with uncertainty, your deadline's not close enough. If you feel like Superman or Superwoman that you can do anything, guess what? Your deadline is too far in the future. So what I want you to do is cut 10% off. Yeah, that sounds crazy. I get it. Cut 10% off. If your heart still doesn't flutter with, well, I don't know, then cut another 10% off. And keep cutting away at the time on that deadline until it's so close that you say to yourself again, I don't think I can do that. Because the next thing is that you'll get to, oh my goodness, I can do this. That deadline will set you through that process that I took you through at the very beginning. You can do this. And I can say that because I know it's true. I know you're capable of it. I don't care how many words you write a minute. I don't care how many words you write an hour. I don't care how crappy a writer you are or how good you are, because that's just a subjective thing in your own head. It's not really true. It's just the bunch of lies that I call this guy my infernal editor. He's the guy that lies to me and says that you suck as a writer. Why are you even bothering? Oh my goodness. Nobody wants to read your crap. He has no source of information. All he has is lies and abuse. So I do my very best to ignore him. On the days where I make the mistake of listening to him, my day isn't as good as it possibly could be by any stretch. So I say all of that to make this point. You are capable of doing this. You can do this. You are the superhuman of your own life. You are the hero of your own life. And if you don't believe in yourself enough to make that statement boldly for you, then believe that I believe it for you. Because I utterly, absolutely, 100% do. If I can go from writing 0 books, 0 first drafts, literally in 15 years, to publishing over 50 books, writing, finishing, completing, publishing over 50 books. So far, I've got way more to go. I can guarantee that you can too. I wasn't born knowing how to write. I just knew it was something I wanted to do. It was something that God put on my heart. I want to be a writer. I didn't even know why. I just knew I wanted to be a writer. And over time, I learned some really simple things that I share through these videos, the things that I teach you in my 5-day workshop, that I teach in my 3-day live event, that I teach in my year-long mastermind. Things that allow you to go from, I don't think I can do that, to, oh, you know what? Can I do it? Is it actually possible? To, oh my goodness, I can do this. You can. I know you can. So I'm going to go back one quick second here. Heed Paul's advice in Corinthians 8, 10, and 11. That's what I wanted to go back and just get. And let me get me out of the way. And I give this And in this I give advice. It is to your advantage not only to be doing what you began and were desiring to do a year ago, but now you must also complete the doing of it. That's the deadline that we're talking about. That's the setting a deadline and keeping that deadline and working my butt off to meet that deadline no matter what. That's all that quote means, really. Because it's your actions, not your intentions, that matter. We can all say we want to do something. It doesn't matter. People might think, oh, he's really great. He's going to do this cool thing. Like, use the example of a politician. I mean, they promise all kinds of great stuff. They don't deliver on any of it. But they promise all kinds of great stuff, and then people judge them by their promises, by their intentions, instead of judging them by how they ought to, by their actions. The rest of the world judges us by our actions, not by our intentions, so why do they get a pass? I don't know. They do. But that all begins with us and our own sense of personal responsibility. We need to stop giving those folks free passes. We need to make them accountable for their word, just like we hold ourselves accountable to do the things that we say we're going to do. So your actions, not your intentions, are the things that matters. Don't just start with enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong, enthusiasm is fantastic. You definitely want it. But it's not the thing. Enthusiasm can wane. But when you build a plan and you work the plan and you show up every day diligently, whether you feel like it or not, your success is guaranteed. Focus your attention on the outcome that you desire most. Your finished, published book. That part of you that's going to go forth out into the world and make this amazing impact. The impact that you know you were born for. Then do whatever it takes to make that real. Is it hard? Sure. But there's lots of ways to make it easier, and that's what I've learned over a lot of years. I went from not being successful at all for 15 years at horrible, and yet at some point in that 16th year, despite 15 years of proof I couldn't do this, I said, well, this time's going to be different. But the only way it was is because I did something different. I believed something different. I took some actions that I'd never taken before, and then guess what? I mean, it's so simple. Success isn't difficult. It's really, really simple. It just means doing the things that we don't want to do some days. That's it. So you can do this. You absolutely can do this. Let me get me out of the way again so you can just see that fully. You can do this. How do I know it? Because I did it. And if I can do it, my goodness, anyone can. None of us are born writers. Hemingway wasn't born a writer. Well, let me rephrase that. He wasn't born knowing how to write. He had to learn it. It's a skill. Anyone can learn a skill. Anyone can learn any skill, assuming that they apply enough diligence and have a big enough a commitment and refuse to quit. That's all writing a book is. Just be belligerent and refuse to quit. That's it. Show up every day, even if you don't feel like it. Because those are the days you're going to remember when you're holding that published book in your hand. And I get all welling up with craziness just thinking about that because I know it's true. So I can say that because I've been where you are. I failed for 15 years to complete a single first draft, let alone an actual complete book. So I started right where you are. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I could do it. I had no clue what to do. And finally, I took the steps. I heeded the advice that I had been told for a really long time, but writing an outline, that's hard. I just want to write. I want to be creative. An outline makes creativity so much more fun because you know where you're going and you know how to direct your creativity. That's why an outline is so great. Plus, you never have to worry about, well, what do I write next? You always know what you're going to write next because it's there. You know, you don't know all the ins and outs of it. You don't know all the layers and the hidden gems in there. They're in it. That's the creative, fun part of it all. But you have to start by doing something. You have to start building a plan. You have to start showing up and executing the plan. That's it. Very simple. But will you do it? That's the question before you today. Will you do it? Because I know you can accomplish it should you choose to. Will you? So that's all I have for you today. I would love to connect with you on social media. I truly would love to connect with you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of them. And you can find links to all my social media accounts at writingcoach.pro/Christopher. And you can also find a couple of things there that, a couple of free things that I think will help you jumpstart your successful journey down publication highway. And if they do, fantastic. If they don't, find something else. But if God put a book on your heart to write and you're wondering where to start, start there. Start there. If it works for you, fantastic. I would love to talk with you about that. And if it doesn't, someone else is out there that will help you. If I'm not the right person for you, as long as I can get you to a clear yes or clear no, that's my job. Clear yes, clear no, and then if it's a clear yes, great, let's get to work. Let's build a plan. Let's make sure that you execute that plan, hold you accountable for it every single day, so that you do the things that will allow you to make the impact you know you were born to make. That's it. That's it. Whoops, wrong button again, but that was kind of fun. What I meant to do is just go straight there. I hit the wrong button. Anyways, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'm here every day at 3 o'clock. I would love to see you again tomorrow. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until then, be amazing. Go forth and write. Bye for now.